Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are going to be playing Rule the Waves in yet another installment in my Let's Play of that series. It is 1917, we're playing as Japan, unrest level is rising, prestige is been pretty solid around 28 for a couple of years now. You can see here we've got quite a bit of work going on in our construction docks, a lot of destroyers under rebuilds, as well as 6 brand new battleships of 2 different classes that are being constructed. A 30,000 ton behemoth under the Gamer class moniker of 8 14-inch guns as its primary armament. And then you have the Yashimuriro, because I can't speak, class of 12 14-inch guns. Same size main battery, but 12 of them instead of 8. In addition to that, if you were watching the last video, we just developed a far superior 15-inch gun class, but we can't install that on ships under construction, so maybe at a rebuild we may reduce these to 8 15-inch guns since the gun is far superior, but we'll find out. Tensions are on the rise. Russia, I think we'd do okay with in a war. France, maybe. Britain, we'd get slaughtered. The U.S. would probably lose as well. And we just discovered oil in Angola, which is a Japanese colony. So because of that, it allows us to start building oil-fired battleships. So that's an advantage. That's the current state of the world in January of 1917. We're running a bit of a deficit, but we've got enough money in our kind of our slush fund to get through a lot of these constructions, which will improve the balance of trade or whatever. So Italy just revoked our alliance because of tensions between our two nations, so that's a little bit frustrating. Speaking of, let's see here, a spy was captured from Great Britain. I don't need more unrest. Okay. Wow. So a whole bunch of breakthroughs that turn by our research team. Yeah. So tensions are high with everybody right now, and that's a bad thing. Our budget is not doing great. That's bad. Unrest is increasing, so that's bad. Lots of bad going on right now. Our people are also not happy that we don't have enough battleships. We've got 4 battle cruisers in service, which is not the least amongst nations, although we're not building any right now. It will be the least once everything under construction is completed. We also have 6 battleships under construction, which puts us in a tie with everyone else who has the most under construction, but we have none in service right now. You can see the other countries are rapidly outstripping us. Russia's the only one, for probably financial reasons, that doesn't seem to be running away with the lead. But yeah, I mean, the situation right now could be better. So you can see our destroyers have finished the construction on some of those reconstructed ships. It appears that we have the smallest total battleship tonnage in service or building of all the great powers. The Prime Minister is displeased and my prestige suffers. Well, I would say that if the Prime Minister was willing to give me more money, we might be able to address the situation here. You can see the building tonnage is not true. That's certainly not true unless you count battlecruiser tonnage. We have 96 or 95,000 tons. Or the Russians only have 95,000 tons under construction. I guess if you include the battle cruisers as a battleship, and I guess that answers the question that I had, is that do battle cruisers count toward battleship tonnage? It appears they do. I would like to rebuild the Naga class, but as we talked about last month, it would kind of cripple the class's ability to be useful in the way that the upgrade system works. The fact that we had side turrets instead of superimposed turrets, and the fact that we had to go with double turrets on the side instead of triple turrets really limited our ability to redesign, because you have to drop one gun in each turret to give you a bigger class of gun, which makes sense. I was actually thinking about this in the last video and kind of in between videos, is that you almost never saw ships rebuilt with larger guns. You saw upgrades, you saw new machinery, there were a lot of different upgrades that would occur to a ship. You almost never saw a ship get upgunned, at least in my recollection. I can't think of a single example where it happened. So maybe that's not too bad of a predicament to be in. The other factor I was looking at is I was looking at redesigning some more of our light cruisers, but the Tsushima class is just frankly too slow. It's 21 knots. And a rebuild of that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. It's not going to be too useful as a raider. It's even slower than our slowest battleship of the gamer class. So in terms of line of battle, this cruiser class is not going to be terribly useful, and it might make sense to look at scrapping it soon. Um, I mean, the president is displeased. What do we do? This is the frustrating part, is that in terms of tonnage, yeah, we're behind on battleships, but we don't have a ton of money to play with. We need more light cruisers. We need more ships. If a war is coming, I think we probably need to get some more subs out there as well. So maybe we build 10 medium-range subs also. It's going to put us in the negative by 2 million a turn. They'll be done in 16 turns. We've got the money to do it. We've got other ships under construction. That's the problem, is at this day and age, the battleship is the symbol of prestige. And really, if you don't have the battleships that everyone wants you to have, if you don't have that number of battleships, it doesn't matter if you have a well-balanced fleet or not. The side effect is, if you get into an actual war, not having a balanced fleet will really hurt you. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. I'm thinking about, maybe, do I build another Shirmo class? Do I look at designing a new 15-inch gun class? Neither proposition's going to be expensive. These guys, I'm just doing the math in my head on whether these ships will be completed before. Yeah, let's design a new ship. Let's see here. I would say we want 15-inch guns, but let's do an auto design. So you can see here, I thought the 15-inch gun was a 0 quality. Yeah, it is. I don't know why it immediately threw in the -1. That seems odd. Okay, so 15-inch guns. We can put 10 of them. 2 triples and 2 double turrets. Speed, I'd like to bump that to 22 knots. You can see that hurts the total displacement, so we need to make it bigger than 33,000 tons, which I'm okay with. Our last class was 35,000 tons, so if we do that, if we make it 35,000 tons, we're okay. Torpedo defense, I would like max torpedo defense, so put that at 2. Armor scheme, secondary guns are in casemates. I think it would make sense more to have the 20 secondaries in double turrets. So we'll do that. Surprisingly, it doesn't show them on the graphic. Oh, probably because I don't have any armor. No, I don't understand that. Are there too many of them? Usually it shows those. Oh, are they too small? There you go. Below 5 inches, I guess it doesn't show them. So we put it as a 5-inch double turret. We'll have 18 of them. Well, we'll do 16, I think makes more sense. No, 14 maybe? Yeah, I like that design with the 5 inches kind of at the midships there. You've got 14 5-inch guns and 5 caliber in double turrets with some pretty solid armor. Turret top has a lot of armor on our main turrets. 22 knots. Oil fired, thanks to Angola having oil. So now we can have oil fired ships. We don't need these torpedo tubes. What the heck? What do we need a torpedo tube for on a battleship? 22 knots. It'll maintain battle speed with the rest of our fleet. That's a bit fast, I think, for a lot of battleships of this era. Certainly you didn't see a ton of 30-knot battleships or upper 20-knot battleships till later. I want to say the Fuso class was. But, yeah, so let's see what happens if we knock off the aft superimpose and try and make it a turret. How much are we in the red? Holy cow, almost by 1,000. Negative 1,000. What if we drop the main? Save some weight by dropping the main battery guns. Ammo allowance is a bit on the low side. We'll bump it up to 80, what happens? Okay. Rate of fire for secondary gun reduced by 40% due to lack of suitable training and elevation gear for secondary turrets. I suppose technology is preventing us from being able to design the ship to the extent that I would like. If we move them back into casemates, it doesn't really save us a ton of weight. Drop the conning tower armor to 15. Maybe drop the turrets to 14. That saves a lot of weight. Secondary turrets to 5, we'll say. So we're making them a little bit less well armored in order to accommodate a triple turret, but then we still have a double turret in the front. Hmm. So I guess that's the dilemma. Aesthetically, the idea of like a 12 gun, 15-inch ship is just really pleasing. Firepower is important. I wonder, I'm almost designing more of a battle cruiser if I do this. What happens if we drop the deck armor to 2.5? We can go ahead and get rid of this forward superimposed and replace it with a forward superimposed triple turret. We're in the red by about 300. Again, speed is the reason if I had a 21 knot ship, I could easily design it, or a 20 knot ship, I could easily design it without too much of a problem. 12-inch belt. I think 3 inches is important on the main armor, but then we're 13. We do 12.5. Drop the turrets to 12.5 inches, because really, based on my own data for the gun data, like at 20,000 yards, you can penetrate 13 inches at 20,000 yards of side armor. But at 15,000, oh, that's not, see, I guess kind of thinking about it, 15,000 yards is going to be penetrated by everything. That 3 inches of deck armor is important for the gap between 15 and 20,000 yards, I think. But I'm not sure how effective firing will be at that range. Let's drop the conning tower down to 13 inches as well. That's kind of where the bridge and everyone is. Let's also drop the secondaries down to 4 inches, because let's face it, if the secondaries are up against the main battery, they're in trouble as is. So drop the secondary turrets down a bit on armor, 3.5. Deck will leave at 3. Conning will leave at 13 inches. Because again, a standard, it'll penetrate right at 20,000 yards on the side. We're not going to be able to beat 3 inches of deck armor. 4 inches of deck armor would just be too heavy. We'll leave the belt at 12. We never touch that. Let's increase the displacement, I guess. We bump it up. Actually, we could probably save some of that. If we bump it all up to 37,000 tons, which is our max build size, we can bring that turret armor up a bit more. Bring the conning tower armor back up to 15. Can we bring the deck armor to 3.5? No, it's too heavy. Bring the secondaries back up to 5, I think, or 4.5 at least. There you go. Okay, I think that's a reasonable build there. 14 inches on the turrets. If they get hit straight on, they're destroyed at 15,000, but I think most will be destroying the enemy at 15,000. 20,000 yards, much more survivable. The belt is a little bit weak, but the turrets can at least survive a hit at 20,000 yards. So I think that's where we'll leave it. 80 rounds per main gun. Oh, we bump it to... No, it puts us in the negative. Okay. So a 12-inch behemoth, we'll call it the Fuji class, I suppose. 12 15-inch guns. 14 5-inch guns as the secondaries and turrets. Rate of fire is reduced by 40%, so that's a pretty serious hit. What if we put them in single turrets? They're scattered all over. Maybe here's what we do. We only have 10 5-inch guns and secondaries. That's 5 on each side. And then we use the weight savings to have 3-inch guns and casemates. And we can have a lot more of those. So I'll have 16 of those. So the 3-inchers should be useful against like torpedo boats or maybe destroyers. The 5-inchers will be more useful, but it'll help defend. Secondary guns, 20% are accurate. Really? I thought we developed... I thought we developed training gear for our turreted secondary guns. That's really frustrating that we have to put them in casemates not to get that penalty. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. Save. Okay. Design exists. Do you want to overwrite? No, we're going to change the name. So it will be the Tokyo class. Or no. The Meiji. We'll call it the Meiji class after the Meiji Reformation. Or is that what it's called? Meiji Restoration? Okay, so the Meiji class, 37,000 tons, It's only a year after the Yashirimo. What happens if we build one? No. $7 million. All right. Well, we've got about 5 months of money. Fortunately, that'll get helped in 3 months when the historical gamer comes online. So now we have a new ship under construction, one new battleship under the Meiji class. So we've got another 30,000 tons. Oh, one is in service, sorry. So 6 battleships building, one in service. It gives us 7 total. That'll equal Italy. They've got more battle cruisers, but tonnage might be okay. Spy from France has been captured. What do we want to do? Publicly denounce aggressive foreign policies of France. Handle it discreetly. Let's handle it discreetly right now. Machinery development. So once again, we probably could have saved weight on our current ship under construction. Private shipbuilding is expanded by 1,000 tons. Caught in the U.S. Make the agent a national hero. Well, it looks like we might be going to war with the U.S., folks. That's one of those countries I did not want to go to war with. Unrest level dropped at least. We've got like 5 months left of money. Although it doesn't seem to... agent captured in Great Britain. Do we make him a national hero? British tensions are relatively low. We'll do that. Get the prestige. Didn't seem like we got a bonus, though. So our budget went up a bit. Research breakthrough light forces torpedo wear forward. Destroyers of up to 1,500 tons. Well, great. So now all our destroyers are obsolete. So I don't think I'm going to call any of these ships up, even if we... But that's the thing. Does that count toward battleship tonnage? 93,000 tons? I mean, that's like 3 modern ships. I don't know what to do. 2 battleships are in service, 5 building. I don't have money to do anything that I want to do. I don't have a cruiser force worth spitting at. Internal torpedo stowage, 5% submarine reliability. So our subs, are those done yet? No. I don't know if that affects the previous subs. I think we'll build 4 more. Okay, increased endurance. Shipbuilding has developed considerably and is now on par that with other nations. Okay. So our shipbuilding is now on par with other nations. Hurrah! I don't know what that means. I assume it means we have quicker shipbuilding times, I assume. There's been an internal upheaval in Mozambique. USA is apparently sending a force there, ostentatiously to restore order, but it is likely that far-reaching plans. We should issue an ultimatum demanding they back down. War! War has broken out between Japan and the USA. Dun da da da. Okay. So, surprise attack. Own forces available, 3 light cruisers, 5 destroyers. I really wish we could have a surprise attack with battleships. So 3 light cruisers against 2 heavy cruisers of their own. And then 5 destroyers of ours. I guess we could torpedo them maybe to death. That might be useful. I don't know what the parentheses number is. Maybe that means additional forces that may arrive. Yeah. I guess we're going to accept because it's a surprise attack. I mean, maybe we've got our new Kasagi classes with the 7-inch guns. I don't know what their heavy cruisers have. Okay. So we're going into Manila Bay. What? Our destroyer division is already in harbor? Oh, okay. So we got our destroyers. Sink 2 ships. That's our objective. Sink any 2 ships. So we've got 2 destroyer divisions and a light cruiser division. The light cruisers are the Azumi class, it looks like. Tell me these aren't. Status. Main gun caliber 6 inchers. 10 6-inchers. It could be worse, I guess. 2 torpedo tubes, 2 submerged. What destroyers do we have? The Kawakaze class. Whoops, that's not that ship. So we've got the Kawakaze class as our destroyer class. 2 4-inch guns with 4 above torpedo tube mounts. And then we've got 1 Yugu, which is of the Hyatt class, which is 4 above torpedo tubes. So really, I would say the key here is to get in with those destroyers and launch torpedoes, and that's our only hope. So we'll set that as the course. We'll go ahead and play. These destroyers are out of our control, by the way. They're too far away, I believe. I don't think I can tell them where to go. So I think we're going to slow. I'll tell these guys. I mean, like, I don't think why does he keep pausing? I don't see any forts at the very least. So that's good. Doesn't look like the Americans have any forts. So just kind of waiting for these ships to come into contact, I suppose. I'm guessing it's pausing a lot because of how far away our ships are. I'm not sure. Let's bump those speeds up a bit. Let's bring it up to normal speed. Just run 5 minutes and see what happens. So our ships are sailing into Manila Harbor. I don't really know if I can give them orders. I mean, they're on AI control, so they're out. So I guess we just kind of have to keep going. Let the computer do what it wants to do, I suppose. At least if they come back when they're in our sight, then we can control them. I'm guessing those ships don't have radios on them. Unknown ship sighted. There's an American flag in the way. We can't see anything. Unidentified ship. Launch your torpedoes. What? You just ran away? That's what you're doing. Running away close to the coast. So you give up your surprise, and then you run away. I'm gonna frickin' kill you. To my virtual non-existent captains, you're going to be tried for treason. Good job, you detected and gave away your position. If you had stormed in with torpedoes blazing, maybe you could have accomplished something, right? These guys should be in sight. I should be able to control them now, I think. Yes, they are in sight, so I can control them now. So go ahead. Oh, detected. Oh, shit. Enemy ships. Oh, crap, there's a battleship. And I don't even... Okay. I didn't realize this. This is bad. Oh, yeah, they're shooting torpedoes. Enemy ship hit by a torpedo. Enemy ship hit by a torpedo. Okay. Enemy battleship hit by a torpedo. Okay. CA hit. Enemy ship hit by another torpedo. These things better sink if they're getting hit by all these torpedoes. Japanese destroyer division 8 is out of sight. Flagship switches to AI control. It's a Huron class heavy cruiser. It looks like there's no battleship. They're both Hurons. So it looks like the Year Gray is badly damaged, I would imagine. Turning our light cruisers back to the enemy. The Massachusetts class heavy cruiser, I assume, looks like the Year Gray is sinking. The Massachusetts class, and it's sunk, appears to be dead in the water, I would imagine, based on the number of torpedoes it took hits from. It would be sinking, although it does appear to be getting back underway. Trying to see here. I'm not doing a very good job of managing this fight. Okay, so we're hitting them with 6-inchers, but I'm not sure what their caliber is that they're shooting back. Medium guns is all it says. The Huron is sluggish in its movements. Looks like we just hit it with a torpedo. I would like my destroyers to come in and finish the enemy off, although I'm guessing they fired off all their torpedoes. Although I just saw one streak in. Say, so the Huron class was just hit by a torpedo. I mean, ships didn't survive this many torpedo hits back then. Even in World War II, granted the Japanese had a very high-quality torpedo in the Long Lance, but a single torpedo could blow off the bow of a heavy cruiser and almost finish it off. Does look like the Massachusetts class is now sunk. So if we can finish off, I think... Yeah, if we can finish off this single class of ships here, this could be a pretty big victory to start the war. I don't know if we have any torpedoes left, as our destroyers kind of circle this Huron class, because I'm not convinced our light cruisers have armor that can penetrate theirs. I don't know what their armor is, but I imagine it's relatively heavy. I'm tired of... I think the game objective, sink 2 enemy ships. The Huron is sunk! Banzai! Okay, so I would say this is a major victory. Enemy has a transport, it looks like. So let's go ahead and TR merchant class. Let's go ahead and take care of these things. Okay. I don't know how much ammo we have. We might be low on that. You're not hitting the merchant? Really? Do you want to detach the Hyatt to pick up survivors from the Huron class? Sure. Medium merchant? Sure. So we're picking up survivors of these enemy ships. It looks like there's quite a few of these. I don't know if these are troop transports or what. But it appears our foray into Manila Bay has been very successful thus far. Okay. All right. So we're destroying another enemy light merchant. Manila Bay is being ravaged. I'm sure the American fleet, when it does come back, is going to be rather ferocious, but especially considering they're much larger than our own, they have a huge naval budget. Looks like we sank another small merchant over there and another small merchant over here. So we've got 2 enemy heavy cruisers and at least 3 merchants that appear sunk. So I don't know if there's enemy ships left. I don't know where. There's certainly some survivors in the water. I would say at this point it's time to leave. Oh, there's another ship. Oh, it's a land feature. Unidentified land feature. Maybe it's a another enemy ship, an unknown ship. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, there's an unknown ship over here. Looks like a destroyer and a minesweeper. And a 6-inch coastal battery. So the enemy does have coastal batteries. I'm going to just try and escape the harbor at this point. It's a 4-inch coastal battery, so it shouldn't be too dangerous to us if we keep our distance. Come on, destroyers, let's go. Let's get out of there. Don't get caught in the harbor, guys. So the cruiser division is escaping. The destroyers are... I don't know if they're in line of sight or not. Let's see here. I don't think they are. Well, those destroyers are just going to have to deal with this on their own. If it's really only an enemy destroyer, they should be okay. There's, what, 3 of them, 4 of them? Oh, this one guy's all the way out here. What the hell? Alright, let's just run this 3 hours and see what happens. Because my guys are safe. Hopefully these other destroyers escape as well. One of them is just a minesweeper, I mean. Oh, it's a minesweeper patrol class? We're just kind of fast forwarding now, guys. By the way, I'm just getting my ships out of here. I don't know what the Izumi's firing at. Don't sail into those mines. Even if I lost all my destroyers at this point, I would say the fact that I sank 2 enemy heavy cruisers makes this mission a success. But it does look like there's some kind of patrol boat class that we're engaging right now. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, come on, hurry up. Speed very fast. I was getting bored. No opposing forces are inside of each other. The length scenario is reached. The scenario is over. So if we take a look here, 19,000 ship score. So what happened here? We lost 1 destroyer damaged and 2 destroyers with medium damage. The enemy lost 2 light when we had 2 light cruisers lightly damaged, as well as 2 destroyers undamaged. Meanwhile, the USA lost 2 heavy cruisers sunk, 3 auxiliary ships sunk, 1 minesweeper heavily damaged, 1 minesweeper undamaged, and 6 LTs undamaged. So 3 auxiliaries sunk and 2 heavy cruisers sunk. A major Japanese victory to start the war, although we get a 10% reduction in our VPs due to playing on easier difficulty, I suppose. So we can go ahead and exit that scenario. And Japanese major victory, gain 1 prestige, gain 1,600 victory points. The enemy gets 200. And in April of 1918, that's where we're at right now, we just won a big victory. It also looks like dropped our unrest level a little bit. VP's substantial over the U.S. We've got to figure out our patrol requirements and all of that here in our war with the U.S. We lost 1 destroyer, and it looks like we get a big boost in our budget now that we're at war here. You can see naval budget, huge boost. U.S. nearly doubles, though, which allows us to be in the positive here. So we've got a monthly balance of 1.2 million. And yeah, all together, that was our first real actually larger scale invasion or battle, and it went pretty well. So I appreciate you guys tuning in, and until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.